Okay, so here, my friends, we have some more explanations for different department handbooks. Okay, just for you to have better idea if you need about details on different things. All right, here are the videos. Thank you. Okay, so we are recording this side of the magazine now. Alright, so we're not going to have very big flowers like that because they're not needed, not sustainable, no other flowers with it. Okay, that's the hand of the lady there, I'm sorry. I'm trying to don't record faces. And we're not going to have tripod as well, okay? Alright, so let's keep going. We are not going to have people dancing like that. Children, they're gonna have proper clothes because that's more sustainable, more positive, right? And we're not going to have any street art like that or like petals. Every country, they do in so many different ways. Some they do with clay, dry clay in different colors, and so we're not doing any of that. This picture here, it's really good. It's really, this painting, sorry. This painting is really good, but it lacks some kind of joy, some kind of more brightness, right? More happiness. So if it was a little warmer color somewhere, it would be approved, but like that's not approved. So we're not going to have any decoration, any statue, any structure like that because they're not needed, not positive, okay? So we're not going to have anything like this, like that, or mosaic or tile art, or even nothing like that as well, okay? So none of those we're going to have in plastic, in seeds, in any way, okay? Because they're not needed and not sustainable. All right, so here we already talk about artwork, right? So we're just going to have what is really sustainable and positive for art, okay? So here we're going to have small transparent bowls is okay for the table, right? And people are gonna harvest things from their own gardens, all right? So if there are fruits outside, and then I think we'll consider. I don't know yet if we're going to have fruits painted in bowls, because the best is to have real fruits, okay? But we're still thinking, deciding about that one. All right, so let's keep going. And we have here, so let me see. So we already talk about art on the street. We already talk about, this type of performances that are not needed this way, okay? We're not going to have magazines of any type printed. We are going to have magazines that are properly are online, sorry. Okay, so we're not going to have art like that, okay? Because that's waste of material and then goes to the landfill. It's a lot of work, so we're not doing that either, okay? All right. So for dances, belly dance and any other, we are going to tell people which ones we will accept, which ones we want, people can do in public or not, because need more details, right? Because people can dance the same dance but in a different touch, a different way. Okay, so we're not going to have art like that. None of those modern arts like some museums, modern art we will have. We can have some more classical, right? We're not going to have any mask like that or mask dances, mask parties. They're not needed, not sustainable. The other thing that for our ancestors, we are going to keep information only up to 100 years. No more is needed. Okay? So, after the person pass away, let's say 50 years, right? After the person pass away, because we are going to be praying for everyone. So 50 or 100 years after the person pass away, I think 100. Yeah, let's do 100 because of the children, grandchildren, but no more. We are not going to talk about ancestors that lived longer than that. And we're not going to have any black and white picture of any type. So for those small frames, people are going to have on their living room, and also for their bedroom, we're not going to have that. Okay? All right. At the bedroom, they can have 2. At the living room, they can have 4. That's plenty and enough. All right. So here, we're not going to be celebrating or talking about old pictures. They're going to have online. Who is interested, go have a look and done. We're going to focus on the present and things we do in the present. All right, so here we have, that's something also that we're not going to use. It is these boxes here. These boxes for electricity or cables, that we have sometimes on the streets. I went to this county the other day, and I saw they're putting these posters there. So we don't need those things, okay? Because they're not sustainable, not needed, not positive. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that we're not going to have bicycles or bike stands like this anywhere. And not even for tourists in special places for residents and tourists to use, because they're not sustainable. Okay, we have what? About 9 billion people. We want to be 14 or 16 billion people in our planet, right? So all these animals also can evolve spiritually, right? So that's not sustainable, we're not going to have. All right, this, we're not going to have any water fountain like that. Okay, the ones we are going to have, that we can have, is more like little ponds, most natural as possible. A few fountains, okay, but not in little tiles like that. We're going to have some examples of harmonious water fountains we can have in some places, with pumps and everything, right? Okay, so here we're not going to have any wall like that built in. You see, it's deeper inside. We're not going to have any of that. Also for the chair, you see it's brass here. It looks like brass. So we're not going to have anything with brass, because every fingerprint, anything they can mark and stain. And then you need products and chemicals to clean it up, or lemon. So we're not going to have them at all. We're going to have regular wood, okay? For every metal, we're just going to send to recycle and be able to use it afterwards. It's forbidden to paint any bird, because they're supposed to be free in nature, all right? So we're not going to paint them. And I will let you know about fruits and flowers, because they're part of nature as well, but if they're very well painted, I think it's okay. On the paints that already exist, because people are not going to make new ones, okay? But birds, for sure, that's forbidden. All right, okay, so we have that. And all right, so here's a beautiful image of a father and a baby, okay? So so we can hold and hug, our family members. This is important for us, okay? But and also for couples. Couples can hug each other. 15 years old and old, they can give little kisses in public, such as parks or beaches, but not long kisses. Long kisses need to be done when they are by themselves, right? And not in front of other people. Okay, so, and couples need to hold hands. Important for people to hold hands, okay? Couples to hold hands in the street, of course, if they're not running, working out. All right, we're not going to have any image like that because not real, not positive. Also, nothing like that. It was a beautiful boat or two boats or something else would be okay, but not like that. This, we're not going to have anything like that as well because it looks like fire, right? And it's even black already on the bottom. So you can have this sense of having fire in the background. Even that the person did the trees, like in a kind of good way, but they're too symmetric, so that we're not using any of that because in nature is not really like that. All right, so for gymnastics, we are going to use some juggling and some balancing. So let me see if I can show you here. So a few of them you can use, but not in dark areas, okay? We are going to use more light instead of night performances like that. But we can use juggling, balancing, and acrobatics on the floor and in the air, okay? All right. So the other thing is that for fairs, we are going to have fairs, but not really like that, okay? We're not going to have all these synthetic stands. We have to figure out something else. Or the table is going to be placed under trees, and because we already said that we're not planting all these palms, we are giving more value to trees, okay? All right. So the tables where people are gonna sell some food or even some clothes, right? A few different things, no objects, but a few things they can sell. Salads, people can sit down and eat. We just have to figure out how we are going to do for the sun. If they're just gonna be plain or if they're gonna be placed in under trees, how we are going to do that, or do really early in the morning or late in the afternoon. So a few details on the street parks, right, fairs, I will let you know afterwards, okay? All right, so for Mother's Day we can do a very special event. Mother's Day, Father's Day, we can do special events in parks, okay, and some other locations as well, such as residential communities and so on. All right, so yes, you're going to have choirs, singers of different ages, that's fine. Okay, so we are not going to have Earth Day like that. Okay, so because we're not going to celebrate Earth Day as it is celebrated right now because of the story, and we're starting everything new, and Earth Day is every day, right? Okay, so but I'm going to say a few things. So here they even say make the switch to LED or fluorescent bulbs to save energy and lower utility bills. So all the tires gonna have proper locations, and hazards such as battery and other things we are going to recycle in proper locations, paint, chemicals. Okay, all right, so we are going to save water, right, conserve water and recycle properly for all this beginning of the cleanup weeks. And the other thing is that all our locations that will be in nature will be called nature events, okay? All right, so they will have special activities for children during vacation days, for families on the weekends, as soon as the owners will work only up to 2 Saturdays or 2 Sundays. If they're having fun as well, that's fine. A month, no more than 2. Okay, they have to share with other managers that can work the other 2 Saturdays or the other 2 Sundays, but not 4 days a month, just 2 days a month. All right, so we are going to have a few dances, as I said, okay, and we are going to show exactly which ones can be danced in public, the couple can dance, and which ones they cannot dance. All right, so I'm just turning the pages, I'm sorry. And the other thing is for manatees, I already said, we are not going to have any painting like this as well. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's a little blurry. All right, okay, we got it. Because all those type of paints are not needed, not sustainable. We are also not going to have any butterfly um, location, such as the butterfly world and other places like that. They are not needed, not sustainable, okay? What we are going to have, and not for birds as well, it's forbidden for people to keep birds, butterflies, reptiles, and anything other than dogs and cats, okay? All right. Some of the things that we are going to do that will be part of the religious classes is for people to learn how to read other people, or themselves, such as for reading their hands, reading their eyes, that's iridology, or taking diagnosis on the pulse and the feet. There are many different techniques from different cultures. Those things along the years that of course will be age appropriate, we are going to do that. Okay? But the curriculum for that's not ready yet. Okay, so we are not going to have any botanical garden because they're not sustainable. They're not sustainable. So what we're going to do, we're just going to plant plants that can really survive on that environment. Because many botanical gardens, what they have to do, they get pests, they use chemicals. They put special soil, special rocks, and all those things that are not needed. We are not going to keep any manatee of any type, right? And for all the other animals, I think I already said. So we're not going to have elephants, giraffes, and kangaroos, and hippopotamus. All these very large animals we're not going to have as well, okay? Because they are not needed, okay? And also no walruses, no, all of these sea mammals we're not going to have as well. We're going to pray so they can already born in humans. That's why we need to increase the population of humans on Earth. Okay, and for now it will be easy because everyone gonna have 8 children and teens at their homes, so gonna be really easy. The main thing is that we have to build enough homes for everyone, okay? And the counties that are less populated can have more housing. Small apartments up to 2 floors, no more is needed. Okay, so let me see what else we have here so I can share with you. So for the belly dance, in the same way, the belly dance, we are going to give proper explanation, on how, and, belly dance is a dance that can be danced in more, in a way that we are going to say all the dances. We are going to have proper videos and show you afterwards which one can be danced, because for people to learn. Yes, the ladies can learn, can have classes, a few classes they can do by themselves at the adult education, right? Okay, a few classes just for men or just for women, just 1 or 2 or so, no more. But yeah, maybe just 1 or so, right? And but the dance class themselves will be taught already only for men and women. Yeah, I think that's the most appropriate. We are not going to have classes only for women on only for men. So I already make my improvement right there. Okay, so for buildings like distribution centers, production centers, like this one here, you see? Sorry, I'm avoiding show other people. Okay, so you see, I don't know if they have windows on the other side or even here in the front. We cannot see so well. They're really small images, but all buildings of all types need proper windows so people can see outside. If they're working there, you know, if it's storage for recycle items to be sold along the years, that is okay. Very few windows, but we need windows anyways because we are not going to have emergency light anywhere because people are not going to places at night, right? Work at night, for example. So they need natural light instead of emergency light. We're not going to have, not needed to have emergency light. Okay, so all the paint that we have right now that is watercolor, we can keep. You know, if they're little synthetic, it's okay, but they're watercolor, you know, water-based, so we can already use, you're not throwing them away. What we are not using for sure, it's oil and synthetic paints, different types of paints. All right, and after that, the children, teens, and young adults will be up to the 14th grade, sorry, will be preparing their own paint with basic natural items, okay? All right, so here we have a few people, and I'm not going to record that, but in a few words, we are not going to have any clothes that has a stamp or pattern of animals or purses or bags, you know, none of that that resemble a leather or fur. All right, so this is very important. The other thing is that people can use a scarf only if it's really cold on the counties that is authorized, because we're not going to have the hood, right? And some places get really cold on winter, so that's okay, but we're going to give specifics about that, which counties can use and only on winter time, because people need to get used to where they live and be good on the other seasons of the year. They cannot use scarves all year round, only for winter months, and maybe a month before and a month after. That's reasonable, but not like that. Let me see here, because we have many people. Let me just see if I see any other comment. Okay, so we're done, my friends. So thank you so much for your participation and getting ready to renew. Oh, sorry, my phone is not turning off. Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop the video. I had to turn off the phone to be able to stop the video. Okay, so now you have a few more ideas, and let's get ready for our organization launching day. Please subscribe and share the video with all your friends, family, co-workers, and neighbors. Talk to you soon. Thank you.